They say your life flashes before your eyes when you die. Mine didn't. It fractured, slowly, like glass under pressure. Quiet, polite, well behaved, breaking in silence.
My life didn't flash, it cracked. Quiet, polite.
Every night, when the world finally shut up, I could hear something else. A hum, a low vibration under the noise, calling my name like it remembered a version of me I hadn't met yet. The night everything snapped didn't look dramatic from the outside. No car crash, no fire, just me in my room, surrounded by all the versions of myself I'd tried to be. That's how I fell into the Society of Light. And in the corner of my eye, I saw her. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light, a shadow on the wall, but the shadow moved when I didn't, tilted her head when I stayed still, watching me, waiting. That was the first time I saw my reflection with a chicken's head. Because somehow that made sense. The girl who spent her life afraid, pecking at crumbs, trained to believe she'd never fly. Of course, my spirit animal would be a chicken. But her eyes weren't scared. They were ancient, golden, like she'd watched 1,000 endings and was bored with all of them. Then the floor vanished. Gravity forgot me, and the hum I'd been hearing my whole life dropped into surround sound. That's how I fell into the Society of Light. The Society of Light wasn't heaven. It wasn't hell either. It was a lobby. Between the life I knew and the one I'd been too afraid to choose. Marble floors, glowing with symbols I didn't recognize. Floating pillars of light with memories trapped inside.
Your time getting here.
I turned toward the voice, and there she was. Not a goddess, not a demon, just a woman, slightly older than me. Crown of braids, eyes like deep water, wrapped in white and shimmer, like light learned how to wear a body. This was General Ali, the only one here who remembered what it felt like to be human and still chose to help us.
Do you know why you're here? You're Dakota. Last one on the list. Do you know why you're here? I wanted to say no, but my chest answered before my mouth could. Because I'm tired of being haunted by a life that never actually started. Then listen closely. This isn't a dream. It's a system. 8 levels, each one held by something that's been holding you. Fear, regret, masks, old names, your shadow. And at the center, her. I didn't need her to say the name.
I'd felt that presence my entire life. In every moment, I chose silence instead of no.
S-H-E.
The architect. The one who learned how to bend destiny into a weapon.
Rosetta became S.H.E, and she destiny swapped Prince.
You've felt her before. In every room where your power didn't fit. In every contract where your soul wasn't in the fine print. She feeds on that. But that's not her real trick. I listened. Because something in my bones knew. This next part would explain the ache I'd carried my whole life, the one that didn't belong to me. She doesn't just manipulate you. Her real weapon is the destiny swap. The air changed when she said it. Like the realm itself knew that secret was expensive. There are souls who arrive on Earth. Artists, prophets, radicals, those who come to rearrange reality with sound and color. She watches them, waits until they step into their power, and then she reaches in. General Ali showed me flashes, not with words, with memory. You know one of them. They called him Prince. He was born with a blueprint to wake people up through music, to remind them they're altars. She never became him. She never wore his face. She did something worse. She rerouted his destiny. I saw it. Like a highway ripped off its map. Every song he wrote, every boundary he broke, every time he tried to free himself from the machine, she siphoned the charge. She siphoned the charge. His courage, his reach, his impact. Diverted, plugged into her system. To keep the world asleep. His courage. He was still Prince. Still brilliant. Still himself. But the path he was meant to walk, the full revolution his music was designed to trigger, was stolen to power her illusion. When his purpose had been drained, she let the vessel go. I'd always felt like his story was an open file. Like there was a verse missing from the song. Now I knew why. She steals the assignment, feeds it into her machine, and leaves the body behind as a cautionary tale. But you, Dakota, are the first one whose destiny she couldn't read. I almost laughed. Me? The girl who spent years hiding in maybe later? If you beat her, every destiny she stole snaps back to where it belonged. That's why you're here. Not to win a game, to end it. I looked down at my hands. They were still trembling, still human, still mine. I was terrified. But for the first time, I wasn't just scared of failing. I was scared of what would happen if I didn't even try.
So I nodded, and the doors to level 1 opened.
Level 1 smelled like a guidance counselor's office, walls lined with sticky notes, names, diagnoses, all the labels people had stapled onto me. Too sensitive, too much, too loud, too quiet, too black, not black enough, artist, failure, almost. Then I saw him, a figure dressed in black fur, head replaced by a vintage typewriter, clicking out new labels with every breath. Each page floated toward me, wrapping around my body like chains made of words.
You are what they called you, nothing more.
His voice sounded like every authority I'd ever feared. Teachers, bosses, even the ones who smiled as they cut me down. The old version of me would have tried to argue to earn a better label. But here, I remembered what Ali said. This wasn't about fighting for a new name. It was about dropping all of them. I am not what they called me. I am what I choose to answer to.
I am not what they called me.
Level 2 was heavier, thicker. Time hung in the air like smoke. Clocks covered the walls, none of them ticking, all of them stuck on moments I wished I could rewind. And at the center, a lion-like figure on a throne wrapped in chains made of what if.
Every step you didn't take, I remember. Every yes you swallowed, every no you never spoke. You kneel here or you drown in what could have been.
He showed me all of it, the day I froze, the time I didn't speak up, the moment I betrayed my own intuition and paid for it in silence and distance. My body reacted before I could think, heart racing, hands shaking. For a moment, I believed that was all I'd ever be, the worst thing I ever did, the lowest choice I ever made. Level 3 looked like a party I'd been performing at my whole life. Porcelain masks floating in the air, smiling, crying, rage, delight, desire, disgust, all of them turning toward me, waiting for me to choose which one to wear. At the center, the masquerade sat, body still.
Which you do they like best? The cool one, the harmless one, the one that never asks for too much? Pick a mask, play the part. You know the rules.
I'd spent years swapping faces, code switching, shrinking, shifting my laugh, my tone, my volume.
I'm done wearing faces that were never mine.
The room was empty, just a mirror, but my reflection didn't move like me. Her eyes glowed red and gold, skin charred at the edges like she'd survived a fire I refused to acknowledge. This wasn't a boss. This was my shadow.
I am everything you buried, so you could be loved.
Her voice was mine and not mine, laced with the rage I'd swallowed, the jealousy I never admitted, the envy, the hatred, the despair, all the emotions good girls aren't allowed to have.
You want to save the world? You won't even sit with yourself. You want destiny? You won't even own desire.
I'd been trying to fight every other level, but this one, I knew I couldn't win by swinging. I had to surrender. Fine. I'm angry. I'm furious. At them. At me. At all the time I spent making myself small so no one else felt threatened. I'm tired of earning space that was already mine. I'm jealous, sometimes, of people who took up room without apologizing.
I'm not half of myself anymore.
The path to her wasn't lined with fire or skulls. It was lined with contracts, neat, clean, beautiful agreements that mortgage people's souls in the fine print.
Let me take your destiny, Dakota. I wasn't afraid of her power anymore. I was ready. I'm not here to rise, I'm here to end your reign.
I am not for consumption. I am not a battery. I am not a rerouted path. I am the glitch in your code. Her body fractured. Light seeped through the cracks, racing back along invisible highways to the places and people it had been stolen from. Prince's storm, Rosetta's chord, voices that had been muted mid-sentence, dreams that died in emails never sent.
My name is Dakota. I faced the dark night of my own soul, and this time, the light stays with me.